Welcome to our channel. I'm Yvonne, the Community Manager at Pal Tiya International, and if you haven't seen part 1 of this series, then go check it out by viewing our previous video. This is part 2 of our ruined Gothic Archway, where we'll be showing you how we made the window, also called a tracery, for the inside of the arch with Pal Tiya Premium, our fully weatherproof sculpting medium. Begin by transferring your window pattern from the cardboard onto tracing paper. Then sellotape this tracing paper to waterproof it. Pal Tiya Premium is wet when it first goes on and will distort the paper if you're not careful. Just trim the tape around the edges. And then using new plast modelling clay, we rolled a clay ball out to about 1/4 of an inch thick. Positioned the clay under the tracing paper and transferred the design to the clay with a steel tool. Then cutting out the clay with the steel tool, we removed all the pieces. Then we applied those pieces to the tracing paper pattern. They'll stick really well to the sellotape. Pressing it down firmly, and then we'll mix up our Pal Tiya Premium. Make it nice and doughy so it dangles like this so that everything's dispersed through that product. And then it's time to make your work permanent. We will take that Pal Tiya Premium and roll it into what we call snakes. We've made a 2-cup batch. And spraying the water onto the cloth that's taped down to the table will keep the Pal Tiya Premium from sticking to the tabletop, and the tape will keep the fabric from walking away or wrinkling. The taper-ended snakes are laid gently into the grooves, overlapping them to the level of the surface of the new plast modelling clay. Filling in all the spaces and edges. We elevate and pinch those final snakes into a higher ridge, and this lets you add dimension to the tracery. Thicken around the outer edges so the tracery can fully grip to the wall, which we'll be making in the next video. Getting it looking the way you want it. And then using an old spoon, we carefully shape the elevated spine. If you flatten the spine a little, it'll make it look more like old stone. Then using a fork, we create a deep furrowed scratch coat around the edges to make it super grippy. The great thing about Pal Tiya Premium is that you can make these components ahead of time, and as long as you leave the scratch coat around the surface, you can add it on to any Pal Tiya Premium project in the future. All you need to do is remist it and then attach new product. Trim that scratch coat edge down so it'll fit in place. Using a chef's torch, we're just going to burn off any of the remaining fibres. Do this in a well ventilated area. And tap off any moisture created by all the vibration. And now we have the finished window. And now it's time for curing. So we wrap and strengthen this for a minimum of 5 days. On the second day, when the material is more firm, we add wet towels. Pal Tiya Premium will become super strong when it's strengthened properly. So we waited 7 days to make sure it was robust. The tracing paper and cardboard backing was then removed, and then we removed this new plast modelling clay from the delicate window openings. We used a steel tool to clean out the corners and get rid of any remaining clay. And then we used a utility knife to clean the edging and to make it really crisp. You'll see how solid the Pal Tiya Premium is now. Just cleaning up the edges. Get them the way you want them. And then we used an 80 grit sandpaper to clean up the edges. Interestingly, Pal Tiya Premium can be sanded to a near polish, especially after the piece has been fully cured. So 300 to 500 grit will produce a nice surface. And your choice of final sealer will determine the ultimate shine, whether it's a concrete stain, spray sealer or wax. And then we wet it for further strengthening and curing. We let it strengthen fully for 2 weeks and another 7 days after cleaning before placing it in the foil arch. And full curing instructions can be found on our website. And we hope you'll join us for part 3 in this series, where we'll be placing the window in the foil archway and sculpting the whole archway. We hope you enjoyed this, and let us know in the comments below if you would love to make something like this for your garden. And don't forget to subscribe to see more cool videos.